was sleeping on park benches, at my friend's house, jumping from house to house. I slept in an alley. I slept in the garage one night at my mom's house.
One time that I kicked him out, I was driving and I literally saw my son on the street near a phone booth. Literally. You know what I did? As much as it hurt me and the tough love that I had to give him, I kept driving.
What's up, guys? If you haven't, go ahead and make sure you go ahead and drop me a follow on Instagram, and I might just follow you back. But for now, let's start the video.
Okay, so here we go. You guys ready for me to get put on blast? All right, guys, what is up? We are back. Right now, I am with my mom, and we went and got Carne Asada fries from the one and only Dino's. I know a lot of you probably know what Dino's is, and some of you probably don't. They sell chicken and fries with rice and beans, but we didn't get into that. I'll show you what I got real quick. I got a Carne Asada fries right here from Dino's. Check it out. What'd you get, Mom?
I got a cheeseburger and fries.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so today I did an Instagram post, and today my mom's gonna be putting me on blast as a teenager. I put it on Instagram. What they wanted us to talk about, and majority of the people said to talk about my teenagehood and the stupid stuff that I did and all the desmadre that I did. But let's go ahead and gruff first for a little while. I'm gonna pour some green salsa on top of these fries. This is my first time trying it, so here we go. Check that out right there. You want some? So what do you think about the mukbangs that I do?
I think they're
Did you trip out when you found out?
Very entertaining.
Oh.
Very funny.
Are you subscribed to other people, Mom? No.
And you make us hungry when you do that.
Oh, wow. Okay. These are really good, guys. With the green chili right there. They're really bomb in the sour cream. All right, Mom, so let's start it off. Don't burn me too much, all right? How was it when I was growing up through middle school and high school? What did I do?
I think you should ask what you didn't do.
What I didn't do? Okay, so here we go. You guys ready for me to get put on blast? My mom puts me on blast. Starting now. Go ahead.
So
don't forget to eat. Because my mom will go off and off and off. And he did this and he did that. And we won't stop. We'll be here like an hour.
So during his high school years,
that little bit of time I lasted in high school.
Yeah, he would be wearing those baggy pants, and I'd work like the 11 to 7:30 shift. So I'd get out of work, and I'd literally go and follow him in my car. So he tried to get a lot away with doing stuff like that. So I had to.
Little does she know how much I did get away with.
I had to put him in check. I literally would have to go find him with a friend's house that lived up like 2 streets up, and there they were, both of them, doing what they weren't supposed to be doing. So not only that.
You don't want to try?
No, thank you.
What about what about middle school and all my grades and all that?
Terrible. I had to be after him.
I was bad, guys. I was pretty bad. I was really disrespectful to my mom and dad when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Did you ever know that, did it ever run across your mind that I was doing drugs?
No.
You never were able to tell that I was high?
No. And so
the one that did tell was, the one that was able to tell more was, I think, my dad. When I started doing drugs, smoking weed, he would find weed in the room. My dad would find weed in the room, take it away from me. I have it in foil. I would smoke and blow it out the window.
Well, he stood a lot of attention because we took down the door from the house, from his bedroom. The bedroom door, his dad took it down.
They took my door. How many of you guys remember that are my age? In your 30s.
It got even worse because he would jump out of the window. Oh my God, where is this kid?
Was it a lot of stress for you, Mom? Honestly, now that I'm a parent, I think to myself, like, damn, like how much did it, stressfully, how much did it affect you? Like, honestly.
A lot. sometimes I'll be at work wondering, oh, where's this kid at? What's he doing?
I think if she would have knew a lot of the stuff that I was really doing, she probably would have been more stressed out. Because there's a lot of stuff that I did that she had no idea I was doing. I was sneaking out to do drugs when I was sneaking out with my friends and be out in the streets. We'd be out till like 4 or 5 in the morning. I would remember coming home right at the crack of dawn, and I would jump back in my window. About the fights I would get in, and I got kicked out of the school because of the fight I got into. Mm-hmm. I got kicked out of one school. Tell them, what'd you think? How'd you get? Where were you when you got that call from the principal?
I think I was at work. That's all I would do was work. But I did pay attention because I did put my son into sports.
But that was when I was like 10 years old. I'm talking about teenagehood. So, what did you get the call? What did they tell you when I got basically when they expelled me that day? They expelled me after that.
Oh, I was so mad, angry. What did you do now? You'd just be like sitting there all quiet. I'm like, oh my god.
The fight that I got into. Remember how messed up we were? I had to go to the ER. Mm-hmm. They took me to the ER right here in the city, and I was pretty fucked up. That was a pretty vicious fight. But then I got expelled. And then I got sent to another school. But I only lasted like 2-3 months there.
That was it.
And then they wanted to send me to continuation school, but I never went. And at that point, I just dropped out of school. I would think it was like 16.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I got a job at 7-Eleven. You remember that?
Yeah.
No, my mom said, "Well, if you're not gonna go to school, you're gonna work."
Yep.
You're gonna work.
That's for sure.
Let's talk about the times that you kicked me out. Why did you do it? My mom kicked me out into the streets at a very young age. Mm-hmm. I think it was like 15 maybe.
He wasn't listening to me.
She gave me the boot, man.
I said, either go to school or work or do something.
No, I was still.
No.
Then how old was I? I was 15 then. I was in 9th grade when I got expelled. So I was like, what is that, like 15?
9th grade, yeah.
So I was around 15 when I got kicked out.
Oh, you know what he would do? When I was working nights, the 11 to 7:30. Mm-hmm. I'd be getting ready to go to work. He'd be taking off. I'll be back. Where are you going? Like I was going to go to work. I'm going to the show. You're not going to the show on a school night at 10 o'clock at night. You need to get back inside.
And as soon as she bounced, I was out.
He was out. Out. I couldn't do anything about that part. Yep. Very sneaky. So now, look.
So, when my mom initially kicked me out, it was pretty rough for me. But I think essentially, honestly, I think that helped me out a lot. It didn't help me out at the time because then eventually I went into more like, not because of that, but eventually my life went into more drugs and violence and doing a lot of dumb, stupid shit. A lot of shit that she's probably finding out from story time that I never told her. But I think essentially now that I look back at it, that was like hard love and it hurt me, and I was really mad at her for a long time for that. But I think essentially it helped me understand a little more, even though I still went on the bad route after that. Now that I look back at it, I think that's sometimes what kids need. I think some kids are too babied, sheltered, protected, that they're never put in a circumstance where they lose everything. And when you're young and you lose everything, that's when you really know. I was sleeping on park benches, at my friend's house, jumping from house to house. I slept in an alley. I slept in the garage one night at my mom's house.
One time that I kicked him out, I was driving. I literally saw my son on the street near a phone booth. Literally. You know what I did? As much as it hurt me and the tough love that I had to give him, I kept driving.
Really? When? I never knew that. You never told me that.
I can't tell you where, but you were right down the phone booth.
You never told me that ever in my life.
I saw you.
Oh wow.
What
was I doing?
You were just standing there with the bag.
I was probably waiting for the bus. To some of you, that might sound really fucked up. Personally, I don't think I would have been able to do that to my kids. I think I would have just like probably got out the car and fucked up my son and threw him back in the car and took him home. But I don't think she's ever experienced living in the streets, so it's pretty rough. It was a really rough lesson, but at the same time, I don't think we're getting into a lot of the shit that I did. I think I did a lot of stuff. I used to cuss at her. I remember one time I socked my dad in the hallway and he fucked me up, and I fell.
in the middle.
I almost hit her in the head.
I was trying to separate them.
I swung on my dad, and he hit me back, and I fell. So it was just a lot of like dysfunction. And then my parents separated, so there was even way more dysfunction. I think this would be a part 2 of the video. Would be first her part, and then the separation, because I think I was a lot worse when they separated. And it was like I was older, so I was doing a lot more shit. I was like 17, 18, 19. I put my dad through a lot of shit too, so I think we'll do a part 2 if he ever wants to. But I give my mom a lot of credit because, you know, she tried to keep me straight, because she did. I do remember her trying to help me stay in school, and she was behind me a lot, but it's the fact that I just didn't want that. I wanted to be rebellious, and you know, no matter what she did, it wasn't gonna work for me at that time, because my mindset was like, I just wanted to just cause this madre, you know, and do a lot of this madre. But now that I'm a parent now, my daughter's approaching teenagehood, I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm a little bit scared, because it's you know, her being a girl and everything, I don't, you know, and just everything, I don't know, you know, that's why I asked her right now how it was, how stressed out she was, you know, because now I can imagine maybe she had some sleepless nights, you know, maybe she was chronically stressed.
A lot.
Yeah, tell me, like, explain it.
A lot of sleepless nights. Well, it wasn't, I guess you could say sleepless mornings, because I work nights. But I'd be at work working. I'm like, oh my God. I'd be looking at the clock. It's almost time for me to go home, make sure he's home. You know, so I was like, what if I get a phone call that something happened to him, you know, at work? So it's always that fear of a mother getting that call that you never want to receive. And I think he didn't understand it, because I'd be yeah, no, but I'm saying, you know, at one point you have to say, okay, this is enough. I'm putting my parents through a lot, you know?
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
when you're that age, Mom, and remember, I was on drugs too, so.
Well, see, I never knew that. And I guess maybe I didn't see it because I was at work,
the time
and then I come home and then I try to sleep, you know, during the day. And
I'm sure some people are gonna ask, where was my dad at?
Your dad, he was at work. Remember, he would leave to work.
I'm saying, I'm sure people are wondering that because we haven't brought him up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we had a hard time, but, you know, I think it was all for the good. And I think I remember, no, I think I know the qualities that my mom brought me up, you know.
It's different?
It's totally different. The era,
yeah. It's even worse now.
It's horrible. Like, horrible. The kids are, you know, I mean, my mom brought us up saying, mande usted, or mande, I'm sure maybe some of you can relate. Oh, yeah. It wasn't like, what? You know, the kids, they answer like that. That's no respect, you know? And that's what I agree with tried to show my granddaughter and my grandson. You don't think social media and technology has a lot to do with that nowadays, though? Oh, yeah. I mean, look at all the videos and the movies and, you know, stuff like that.
The influence.
Yeah, the influence, you know. But, you know, my
oops.
You know, you didn't see, like, me. I had to be in bed literally by 8 p.m. I had to have my clothes on.
Yeah, we're talking about 1960s.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the era, how it's changed, you know, where
you're talking
about when she was in the parents are more stressed out.
She's talking about 1968, like 50 years ago.
You know what, if I was a parent, you know, that didn't care.
How come you didn't just give up on me?
Because I'm a parent. You were my son, and I loved you, and I wasn't just going to say, okay, well, just... Because sometimes it's easy. What is the way? It's the easy way out, and just say, okay, well, forget it. Let him do what he's got to do. I wasn't, because that's how I was raised, to care and love and respect. And that's what my mom showed me and my dad, you know. So trying to raise him, you know, it was a challenge. Make sure he was on the right step, you know, go to school, get an education so you can have a job, you can buy things you want, you know, and it all pays off. Believe me.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think my mom could have put me more on blast, but I kind of told her not to now. There's a lot of stuff. It would take like 2 or 3 videos probably to really talk about it, or this would have to be an hour long to like remember stuff, and me and her remember.
Not 2 or 3 more videos, maybe more like 2 or 3 weeks.
So maybe the next time I do this, I'll do this with my dad too, so he can give his side, the later years, his side. That's when I was really on drugs, and he would call me and look for me, and he did the same thing my mom did, you know, to a certain level at that point. Maybe it's not so much in the schooling, but as far as when I was really in the street and doing this mother, he tried himself too, you know. So I give that credit to both my parents, one on one end and another one the other end. You know, I remember my dad coming and trying to take me out of an apartment that I was in, you know, calling the cops and everything. So I mean, they both tried, and hey, I'm here. I'm not dead yet. I'm not in prison, which I could probably possibly be, like my primos are, you know. And I'm here doing. I'm an entrepreneur, you know. I'm doing. You know, I'm creating content. I'm a video creator. Whether it's food, whether it's this, whether it's that, you know. Hey, it is what it is, you know. I could be on Skid Row right now on drugs. I'm not gonna be getting a call that I've OD'd, you know, somewhere. That's not the case, thank God, you know. But we're gonna wrap it up. So we'll see you guys in the next. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.